there you are. The divorcees are quite another matter. In the past few months, I've discovered that they come in all sizes, shapes, and colors, and that an ever-increasing number of them are between the ages of 26 and 35. Just about right for a man my age. Frank, in his partisan New Yorker way, says it's truly unfortunate that most of them come from the Midwest. But that's because if you draw a line due south from Columbus, Ohio, it will go straight through the center of Colusa. Frank says that Colusa is only Michigan on the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe he's right. The eastern rim of Colusa Bay is jaggedly defined by US 41, more familiarly known as the Tamiami Trail. It is Frank's belief that Tamiami is redneck for to Miami. Again, he may be right. If you follow 41 south, it eventually leads to Alligator Alley, which then crosses the Florida Peninsula to the east coast of the state. There are 5 keys off Colusa's mainland, but only 3 of them, Stone Crab, Sable, and Whisper, run north-south, paralleling the mainland shore. Flamingo Key and Lucy's Key are situated like massive stepping stones across the water, connecting the mainland first to Sable and then to Stone Crab, which is where Victoria Miller was singing in the lounge of the newest restaurant on the beach. It was one of those January nights rare for Colusa, eternally and extravagantly promised to the tourists, but only infrequently materializing. During Colusa's long winter months, the mean average temperature is 62 degrees, 17 on the Celsius scale, but this only means that the daytime temperatures hover in the mid-50s, much too chilly for swimming in ocean or unheated pool. And at night they sometimes plunge into the lower 30s. Reason enough for the orange growers to run scrambling for their smudge pots. But today the weather had been exactly what the snowbirds pray for, a combination of clear blue sky, brilliant sunshine, and temperatures in the high 70s. As I parked the Ghia in the lot behind the restaurant, a soft, balmy breeze wafted in off the Gulf, and a wisp of cloud brushed past the face of the moon. The blacktop underfoot was suddenly awash in molten silver. There was the sound of piano music in the distance. I began walking toward it. The greenery had opened at the start of the season in October. Each year in Colusa, a dozen or more new restaurants make their bid for longevity. But if one of the dozen survives by the end of the season, it's a miracle of no small proportions. My partner Frank says that a class act hasn't got a chance in Colusa. The migratory Midwestern clods, as he calls them, are looking for places advertising family dinners at $4.95. The greenery was a class act indeed, and by Frank's reasoning it should have closed a month after it opened. The food and service were excellent, the cuisine continental. Certain death in a town where travelers driving campers are searching for pizzerias or hamburger joints. And the decor was nothing short of stunning, having been designed by a client of ours named Charles Hoggs, who was also responsible for the mall downtown at River Point. The restaurant had at one time in fact been a nursery, and Charlie had used the existing greenhouse as the entrance, adding the lounge and main dining room behind it as a series of similarly glass-enclosed rooms. The greenery was never open for lunch, so glaring sunlight wasn't a problem. The owners had hired the services of a woman named Catherine Brunette, with whom I had had an unpleasant professional experience not too long ago, and it was she who kept the various rooms hung with fresh plants delivered on an almost daily basis from her shop, Le Fleur de Lis, next door to the Royal Palms Hotel downtown on South Bayview. I hoped the greenery made it, if only for Vicky's sake. She had sung hard rock back in the mid-60s, but the music coming from inside the place now, louder as I approached the greenhouse entrance, was the sort of stuff the big bands used to play back in the late 30s and early 40s, a little before either her time or mine. I myself was born in 1943, a year after my father went off to fight World War II. Actually, he did no fighting at all. As an attorney practicing before the Illinois bar, he was assigned immediately to the Judge Advocate General's office and spent most of the war as a commissioned officer at Fort Bragg. When he was discharged in 1945, it was with the rank of lieutenant colonel. The music I listened to as a teenager in Chicago was a music in transition from pop to rock. My heroes and heroines, in addition to Elvis, of course, were groups with names that by today's